About what we expect to see tonight. University of Hartford Associate Professor of Political Science Bilal Sekou is here. Thanks for joining us tonight. So this late in the race, hard to say whether this debate is going to actually move the needle very much, and yet it's a very tight race, so it doesn't have to move it very much to affect the race. So let's start with Donald Trump. What do you think his strategy to be going into the debate tonight?
I think, one of the things that Trump needs to clearly do is to demonstrate his sort of presidential credibility. I think, right now this will be an opportunity for him to answer questions kind of long compared to what he did in some of the other debates where he's pretty much gotten by on using platitudes. And so now we're going to see some depth. And so to the extent that he's able to demonstrate that, I think is really important.
Do you think, and if he gets petty and personal too much, I mean, he could really go down in flames, don't you think?
I mean, little Marco and some of the offhand comments that he made in some of the previous debates, he can't do that against Hillary Clinton. I think it will come across completely different. He's certainly been on the campaign trail using things like crooked Hillary, but I don't expect to see him do anything like that tonight.
Now, what about Hillary Clinton's strategy tonight?
Right. Well, certainly for her, she's got to come across, as people have talked a lot about, warmth and really sort of showing that there's some real personality here for her, but also showing the depth of her knowledge on the range of issues. She's got years of experience in government, and so this will be a platform for her to really demonstrate that she's a person who's really capable of doing the job, and her opponent is not.
I mean, to put it in football parlance, she's an X's and O's guy, right? She understands those issues in a way that he hasn't shown so far. She needs to be able to communicate that, but do it in a relatable way. That's kind of a challenge, don't you think?
I think it really is. I mean, she's really sort of she's the typical policy wonk, and so, but she can't do that in the presidential debate, come over as being too smart on the issues, but at the same time, do it in a way that people really get it, really understand her message, and really see her as someone who can lead the nation for the next 4 years.
So her depth of knowledge going in is her strength. What about Donald Trump? What kind of strength does he come into the debate with?
Well, I think for him, the strength is in the people he's mobilized to turn out to participate in the Republican primary, the folks who are really excited about his candidacy. I mean, in many ways, it really is surprising, given her years of experience and her ability to see this race this tight and to see the polls, being essentially neck and neck in a toss-up nationally. I mean, it really matters most at the state level, and particularly in the hotly contested states. I mean, and I think that really will tell the truth about the election. But in some ways, it's kind of surprising that this is as tight as it is.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people have been using that phrase "throw the bums out." Since the beginning of this presidential campaign. There's so much gridlock in Washington, and there's so much frustration with that among the electorate. One way to explain the tightness of the race.
Absolutely,
probably.
And I think Trump has benefited tremendously from that. This has been years in the making in terms of both the Democrats and the Republicans failing to deliver. We're at a very critical moment with regard to our economy, the issue around terrorism, and other sort of real challenges. And so people are looking for solutions, maybe too easy a solution, but certainly people are looking for someone who can fix this.
And so quickly, we just have a few seconds left, but we talked about this in the break just before we went on the air here. Do you expect this to be very important in terms of moving the needle, the debate tonight?
I mean, the conventional wisdom is that debates really don't do that. But I think this one can, at least for those folks who are out there and undecided, it could swing the pendulum in one candidate's direction.
Okay. Bilal Sekou, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate your time.
All right.
All right. Audrey.